Good afternoon and welcome to this Wednesday, February 6th edition of Westman Newsline. I'm Randy Joseph Lilly alongside Calvin Henryon and Colton Yarge. In today's news, a gas leak at Assiniboine Community College's North Hill campus has closed the welding shop at the Len Evans Center for Trades and Technology for an undetermined length of time. And safety officials are advising people to stay off the Assiniboine River. And Calvin will be in with sports. Calvin, the Wheat Kings have suffered yet another blow to their already difficult season.
That's right, Randy. Brandon defenseman Tyler Jaworski will be missing the rest of the Wheat's current homestand. I'll tell you why later on in sports.
Calvin. And Colton will be in with weather. Colton, I heard a rumor that more snowmen could be appearing in Westman.
Right, Randy. Anybody who goes outside tonight may be transformed into Frosty in just a few minutes. Currently in Brandon, there's light snow falling and the temperature is -16, but feels like -25 with the wind chill. That's it for now, but stay tuned. I'll be back with all your full weather details later on in the show.
Thanks, Colton. The welding shop at the North Hill campus of Assiniboine Community College has been shut down after the Office of the Fire Commissioner found a gas leak and forced the college to close the shop doors. The visit from the commissioner occurred last week, and Barry Gooden, Dean of the School of Trades and Technology at ACC, says classes will no longer take place in the welding shop while the problem is fixed. The 40-plus students affected by this incident will be moved to a classroom to continue their studies. The Len Evans Center for Trades and Technology cost $46 million and opened its doors in 2010. Manitoba Infrastructure is warning that unstable ice conditions may occur on the upper Assiniboine River downstream of Shelmouth as routine preparations for spring runoff are underway. Snowmobilers and people planning activities on the river are advised to take precautions during the next 2 weeks, as it is difficult to predict where the water could overtop the ice. The Shelmouth Dam overflow will be maintained at about 1,200 cubic feet per second to prepare the reservoir for the spring runoff. The increased discharge has the potential to lift the ice, causing water to flow on top of the river as it works its way downstream over the next 2 weeks. Members of a Manitoba Hutterite colony say they were horrified when provincial conservation officers shot and killed a deer they had taken in and named Bambi. They say the animal was gunned down on a street in the colony as the adults from the families that had cared for the deer watched from their windows. Evie Lynn Mandel of the Windy Bay colony near Pilot Mound says it was traumatizing to witness the animal thrashing around before it died. Conservation officials are defending the shooting, saying the small deer might be cute, but would present a significant danger to people as a full-grown buck. Teachers in Manitoba are being asked to donate $1.5 million in order to get their names on the new classroom at the Canadian Museum for Human Rights. Paul Olson, president of the Manitoba Teachers Society, believes that money is well worth the return. Olson is hoping for the 15,000 members of the MTS to approve the plan at their annual general meeting to be held in May. At the meeting, he hopes others will agree with his idea to donate $1.50 per month from every member for 5 years. MTS has already donated $62,000 to the museum, which has given MTS the rights to buy naming rights to the classroom. A Winnipeg man says he got a teeth-rattling surprise when he bit into a pizza pocket, only to discover a screw inside it. Ernest Lefebvre says he was shocked when he chowed down on the after-work treat one day last November. The pizza was packaged by Winnipeg-based Nalloway Foods, which Lefebvre contacted and was told the item must have shaken loose from some equipment. He received a $100 compensation check this week, plus a letter explaining what happened. Nalloway hasn't commented publicly on Lefebvre's experience, but has previously said changes have been made to its metal detection procedures and equipment. Anglers all over Manitoba are participating in one of their favorite winter sports. Westman Newsline's Colton Yarge suited up and experienced the great outdoors in Russell, Manitoba.
An all-time favorite winter pastime is in full swing, as well as the axes for another season on Lake of the Prairies anyway. Ice fishing is a fun and inexpensive way to spend your days on the lake with friends or family. Chris Kringle, a local fisherman at Lake of the Prairies, is excited about the size of northern pike he is catching this winter.
I got one that we kept. It was 29 inches, so that's perfect. We wish we could keep the one trophy fish.
For those fisher people who do like to eat what they catch, they may go hungry this winter. The reports from local fishermen say all they have caught thus far are small walleye. Small walleye that cannot be legally kept and must be thrown back. Some reports also said big northern pikes were biting as well. And, as we all know, there's nothing like pulling up the big one.
The pike are nice because they're fun, you know, like I just caught a 44-inch, 22-pound pike, which is, you know, that's a monster fish, so So yeah, they're fun to catch.
Well, as you've seen, the walleye haven't bit as well as usual and have been fairly small in size, but the pike have been very plentiful as well as decent in size. Nevertheless, it doesn't stop fishermen from coming out and enjoying the great weather. For Westman Newsline on Lake of the Prairies, with photographer Paul Chuchmuch, I'm Colton Yarch.
And now let's take a look at where today's money markets are currently sitting.
Westman Newsline, produced by the IMA Media Production students of Assiniboine Community College. Local news, weather, and sports on Brandon's only TV newscast, Westman Newsline, airing at 1 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on WCG TV.
Turning to international news now. The mayor of Acapulco is apologizing for downplaying the gang rape of 6 female Spanish tourists. He originally called what happened regrettable, but said it could have happened anywhere in the world. Police have stepped up security at the beach bungalow where the attack happened while they investigate. Miguel Marquez reports.
Masked gunmen entered the seafront vacation bungalow from the beach around 2 a.m. What happened next? Horrific. 6 women in their 20s and their male companions tied up with their own cell phone cords and bikinis. The women raped, the men helpless to stop it from happening. It's a delicate situation, he says, but we will apply the full weight of the law against those responsible. All the victims, tourists from Spain. One woman from Mexico was left unharmed. Some neighbors say they heard music coming from the beach house late that night, suggesting there may have been a party. With no gate, fence, or security, the house easily entered, invaded from the beach. The shocking crime has struck worry and fear in those who know and love this popular vacation destination.
I'm excited to be here, but at the same time a little nervous.
The attack comes as tens of thousands of teens and 20-something Americans, spring breakers, prepare to descend on Acapulco for the annual rite of sun, beaches, and parties. The city of Acapulco has been an oasis of relative calm in the Mexican state of Guerrero. A place hard hit by drug-related violence, the U.S. State Department recommends deferring non-essential travel to the northwestern and southern portions of the state, and even in Acapulco itself, the best advice: exercise caution and stay within tourist areas. Miguel Marquez, CNN, Acapulco, Mexico.
An Alabama boy held hostage in an underground bunker for 6 days is celebrating a birthday. Ethan is 6 years old today. Yesterday, the FBI found 2 bombs in and around the bunker, and they continue to search for more of the devices. The kidnapper, Jimmy Lee Dykes, died in the raid to rescue Ethan. The FBI has released new pictures on the setup of the bunker and just how far Dykes went to keep authorities away. Victor Blackwell reports.
4 feet below this spot is the bunker where Jimmy Lee Dykes held 5-year-old Ethan hostage for a week. This is the pipe the FBI says Dykes told agents to use to communicate, and we now know why he made that request. A day after the raid, bomb technicians found an explosive inside that pipe and a second explosive inside the bunker. Jimmy Davis Jr. is a neighbor. He saw the setup in its early stages.
And it was covered up with 2 sheets of plywood and nailed together with hinges and stuff as a door to open to it.
Authorities say Dykes had reinforced the bunker to keep them out, but they were inside, watching. Sources tell CNN the hostage rescue team snuck in a tiny camera.
Mr. Dykes was observed holding a gun. At this point, FBI agents, fearing the child was in imminent danger, entered the bunker and rescued the child.
I heard a big boom, and then I believe I heard rifle shots.
Sources tell CNN what Brian Martin heard was a diversion. Agents rushed in, Dykes shot at them, but in the end, he was killed. Ethan was rescued.
He answered which I never doubted, my God, and he answered our prayer.
A nightly prayer vigil became a celebration of Ethan's rescue and his 6th birthday.
Well, this is just the start of it.
April McDaniel is a local police officer. She's also a mother. She started a Facebook campaign to collect birthday cards for Ethan. Thousands have responded.
I just wish that I could be there to see his little face light up whenever he sees all the response and how many people really care and love about him.
After a tumultuous week, Ethan's home from the hospital to celebrate and heal.
But stay tuned. Colton's up next with Newsline weather.
Good afternoon with Newsline weather. I'm Colton Yarch. Well, with all of the snow we had overnight and with what's expected in the next couple of days, we'll certainly be walking in a winter wonderland. Currently in Brandon, there's light snow falling and the temperature is -16, but feels like -25 with the wind chill. This evening, we can expect a cloudy sky and a temperature of -15, but the wind chill will make it feel more like -23. Overnight, the temperature will dip down 3 degrees and more snow will fall. Turning to our radar image now, these precipitous cells still around the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border will continue to roll into Brandon, bringing us, as I said, more flurries overnight. Taking a look at our satellite image, we are still getting cloud cover from the west coast, but it doesn't appear to be as heavy as it's been recently. Time for the 5-day forecast. Flurries are expected tomorrow and Friday with fair temperatures. Then the outlook after this is great, at least for this time of year. Sunshine and decent temperatures all the way up until Monday and into next week. Now let's take a look around the region. Winnipeg -13, Portage is in at -15. Meanwhile, Dauphin checks in at -14. Neepawa, Carberry are both in at -16. Killarney -8, Minnedosa -16, and Verdun will round us out at -11. Seasonal norms for this time of year are a high of -10 and a low of -21. The record high was set back in 1996 when we were above zero at 3.8. The record low was established in 1967 when we slid down to -36.7. Once again in Brandon, there's light snow falling and the temperature is -16, but feels more like -25 with the wind chill. That's it for weather, but stick around. Calvin's up next with Newsline Sports.
Good afternoon with Newsline Sports. I'm Calvin Henryon. Brandon defenseman Tyler Jaworski will be missing the rest of the Wheat Kings' current homestand. The 20-year-old was suspended for 6 games by Western Hockey League Tuesday for a checking to the head major he was assessed during Saturday's victory over Regina, a hit that resulted in Regina's Luke Fensk suffering a concussion. The Brandon Wheat Kings will try to make it 2 in a row when they host the Lethbridge Hurricanes tonight at Westman Communications Group Place. Brandon has 18 games left in their regular season and is currently 11 points behind 8th place Medicine Hat, which means there's no doubt the team's current homestand is an important stretch for the hockey club. Brian Little on the power play in overtime scored in the power play in overtime to lift the Winnipeg Jets to a 3-2 win over the Florida Panthers on Tuesday night. Blake Wheeler and Mark Stewart also scored for the Jets. Jonathan Huberdeau and Thomas Fleischmann scored for the Panthers. The Jets came out flat in the first, giving away the puck 4 times and winning only 1 of 10 faceoffs. They came up short on their lone power play opportunity in the first when Tobias Enstrom cut their 2-minute down to 1 with a hooking call. On their best scoring opportunity, Brian Little's shot went high, and even though it bobbled up and around the net, line-mate Andrew Ladd couldn't get control of the puck for a follow-up. 4-time overall World Cup champion Lindsey Vonn is done for the season. The American skier tore ligaments in her right knee and broke a bone in her right leg when she crashed out of the Women's Super G on the opening day of the World Championships in Austria. The injury comes barely a year out from the opening of the 2014 Sochi Olympics. And Randy, it's all for sports.
Thanks, Calvin. And that's all the time we have for you today. Be sure to join us again tomorrow for Brandon's only TV newscast, Westman Newsline.